my dog's Dee Dee. Okay. Everybody say hello to Dee Dee. This is Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
She's got a new sweater
Oh, Dee
from
Dee's a little
Little.
cutie.
It goes all the way to her feet.
Like how they have the butt cut out. She has to go potty. Love that.
Yeah. My dad was like, is she gonna go to the bathroom on it? I was like, no, she's fine.
Yeah.
She is fine.
Cute,
Speaking
something
of
worth
my
smiling
dad.
about right there.
Oh, yeah, something worth smiling about. And speaking of my dad, so we all saw the Seahawks, battled it out till the very end. Funny story, my dad and I were actually driving from San Francisco to the Seattle area for the holidays. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but the streaming packages and the amount of games that are on different platforms nowadays is so irritating that when you're trying to watch a game, you can never find it, or you have to end up buying like a package. So I have YouTube TV, Sunday Ticket, whatever, but if the game is playing in your area, it's not going to be on that package. So anyways, I was trying to watch this game. I couldn't find it. So I ended up paying like $6 for NFL Plus, but I didn't even watch it. We were listening to it, and we're listening to it through the eyes of Vikings play callers, or whoever was calling the game were Vikings fans, which was actually kind of fun. Whoever works for them, or whoever that is, whatever your name is, you need to raise, because you're really good at your job. You made us be really into the game. It was exciting to listen, and I don't know, it's just kind of nostalgic for me to listen to games on the radio with my dad. So anyways, whoever you are, if you end up finding out, we need to find your name. What was that?
Was he as good as the OG Rabel?
I mean, maybe. I wish I wrote down some of the things that he was saying, but it was kind of cool because he wasn't just getting excited about Vikings plays. He was actually getting excited about Seahawks plays too. Like when Mafe got a sack, it was when JSN caught the ball. Like they were hyping them up too. So it wasn't super one-sided, which I think was a lot more tolerable for us to listen to. Right, Dad?
Reminds me of my aunties. They would always watch the Wazoo games on TV, but they would mute the TV and listen to through the radio because there was such a bias for the Huskies. And my mom's over there. My mom's a Husky, and all her siblings are Cougs. And so I, come Apple Cup, I just stay out of the room and watch them go at it. So
right,
but that's funny. Radio's live because you got to be extra animated, just because it's just your voice. You gotta make up for not being seen. So
you got to be extra animated. And wow, my dog is acting like a baby right now. You have to be super animated, but what was really impressive was the amount of facts that he knew about every single player, like what college they went to, what year they were, and the fact how smooth it was super impressive. And yeah, for how crazy of a game it was, I mean, it was enjoyable to listen to until the very end, So
guys like that remind me of remember the professor John Clayton, rest in peace, man.
Yes.
I mean, the dude's never played a snap of football in his life. I'd bet my bottom dollar on that. But the way he breaks down numbers and analytics is like addicting. Like I learned stuff, just a whole nother perspective on football. So when you have guys like that, whoever the commentator was or the radio voice, man, I get lost in that type of stuff. So I love it. But yeah,
I definitely think passion always beats out anything else in life, right? So if you're passionate about the game, what
a nice word to segue into our team, man. I was like, that's a very powerful word, is passion. You see people who are out there giving it their all. But there's a difference between someone who's just out there giving it their all and someone who's just like has that passion where it's like, this is life or death, man. Like, there's no losing is not an option. And there's a couple of people that, in my opinion, on this team could use a little bit more passion in this games. Yeah.
Okay. Who are they? Call them out. Let's go. Let's hear it.
In honor of the Pete Carroll, as much as I love Mike McIntosh and what he's doing, I think it's appropriate to let's do this. Tell the truth Monday right now.
Okay. Tell it.
I'll just say this. I've been defending Geno Smith all season, and I'm still going to defend him.
Okay.
Because he's an amazing quarterback. But let's just say this. This is something Ryan Grubb has to get through his skull, man. Is Geno Smith is not the type of quarterback that should be throwing the ball 30 plus times, 30, 35 plus times. He's not that type of quarterback. He's the type of quarterback that he's an amazing game manager. Mm-hmm. He can make the necessary throws when you need to, but to put the game on him, it is, in my opinion, is just asinine, especially when you have weapons like, K9, you got freaking Sharp, Kenny McIntosh. It's just crazy to me, man. And I don't know exactly who I want to. Man, they're just lucky we didn't record this yesterday, because I would have just, man, it would have been way unfiltered.
Yeah.
But yeah, Geno Smith. Well, let's start with Ryan Grubb. Okay.
Ryan Grubb, let's start with him.
Here's where we're gonna say is like, dude, you ran the ball. Let's see. Kenneth Walker had 8 attempts. Okay, 31 yards. That's an average of 4 yards a carry. Kenny McIntosh, phenomenal running back. I've been waiting for them to get him more involved. Loved watching him at Georgia, and then like only 3 attempts, 14 yards. That's not a bad average. It's 4.7 yards an average. Now, here's the part that gets me. We've been watching Charbonnet, carry the boatload while K9's been gone, and my man had 1 carry yesterday.
Wow.
1 carry. And I don't understand. And it's like, when I listen to these press conferences week after week after week, and Grubb is sitting there like, we were trying to get the run game going. I was like, when? Like, dude, you can only bullshit us for so long, where it's like, no, right. That's the part and then you put yourself in a position to where now we got to rely on Gino, who's not that type of quarterback, man. I was listening to G yesterday, G Scott. Here's something that he pointed out that I was thinking the same thing. He had 2 picks yesterday. One of them was a terrible throw. The other one was, I'm going to go off on DK later. But there should have been at least 4 interceptions yesterday. I don't know if you remember that. They dropped 2 or 3 picks. So that game should have been way worse from that perspective. So they need to get their shit together. Ryan Grubb, dude, come on, man. Run the ball.
You know what's funny? The Vikings announcers mentioned the Seattle fans not being a fan. He goes, we got a new. Are you looking for my keys, Dad? They're right here. Sorry, guys. Dad, say hi. I'm at home. This is my dad.
Hey. Your family's over here. That is.
Josiah, we're recording.
Hey.
But they were saying, Seahawks got new coaching, but the Seattle fans aren't a fan of Grubb's elementary style offense.
Come on.
So it's like all these other commentators know, all of them see it. We're not, but it's just like, it's week 16, y'all. It's week 16. We're trying to run the ball. That's one thing growing up and being coached is like, don't try, do, right? Like, my dad hated it when we're like, okay, we're going to try to do this. He's like, don't say try, just go do it. Right. Oh my God. So it's like,
yeah. And you and I talked about, we brought this up and we kind of actually stirred up some great perspectives from everyone listening right now. It's like, should we, after Zach Charbonnet had that amazing game where he rushed for $150 plus and a couple tugs, but like, if we're not going to use, we were talking about, should we consider dangling the carrot of trading K9 and see what people would offer? And at first it was kind of just a thought, let's see what people think. Cause I'm not the only person that's thought that before, but hey, if we're just going to keep freaking having them back there for decoration, and pass blocking, why not trade the guy? Get something. If we're just going to throw the damn ball, trade him. Shit, like we can actually get something good for him. I mean, I don't want to trade him. I'd rather run the ball. Let's be very clear about that.
Right.
But if you're not going to use him, that's a very valuable piece of trade power, stock power you have right there. So I don't know. Then we can talk about. So there was Grubb, there was Geno. Okay, my thing about Geno, Situational awareness. Okay. I love
Yeah.
Geno Smith. He is very smart. I actually watch pre-snaps, the reads he makes. I'm like, okay, he's checking out the XYZ. Wow, that was actually a great check down. This is a game of chess, and he is a master at it a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is, like, with how intelligent he is, situational awareness, field awareness. I mean, you're at the 40, you're at the 38, 40-yard line, and we're trying to march down the field late in the game to potentially get a touchdown to take the lead, or at least a field goal to tie the game. Okay.
Right.
And you take a sack. This has been like the thing that's been the most frustrating to me with Geno is when you're in field goal range and we're always talking about take the points, take the points,
Right.
take the
Right.
points. Okay. Obviously, we want a touchdown. If you got to take a 3-point a field goal, then take it. And he drops back, and now he's at the range of a 60-yard, 61-yard field goal, and he takes a sack. I'm like, bro, and then Jason Myers going to come in and save the day, and freaking spot on, but goddamn 8 yards short. I'm like, oh my
But it's
God.
like they expect him to kick a 60+ yard field goal. Like, remember when 45 was long and now we're doing 60?
Anytime somebody was over 50, it like got to 50, oh shoot, this is going to be a long one. But yeah, y'all want to do a 60-yarder. And here's the crazy thing: had he not taken the sack, maybe throw the ball away, it would have been a 58-yarder potentially. And he can do those easily. So, I mean, and then that's a whole different game right there, because now we're tied.
Right.
So we're going to that next drive tied.
Let's rewind though from the beginning. What have we always been saying? The first drive of the game, our opponents always score, and our first drive of the game, we never score. It continues to be the theme of our 2024 season.
Listen to this. I heard this the other day. You and I have kind of just been, why does it seem like we can't score on the first drive? So that's actually real. We have gone 19 games, which is the longest in the NFL, without scoring a drive on the first touchdown. I heard that yesterday.
Did you? Okay, yeah. So
it's actually a thing.
It's so funny. It's funny because my mom is such a Seahawks fan. My dad and I were saying this. My mom was like, I've seen them score, and we're like, when?
A field goal. We've gotten field goal.
Right. But a touchdown. Yeah.
So we're playing from behind from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? And then, so Gino, come on, man. You are smart. You're a veteran. You've been behind Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Right.
This is one of those elementary things. Do not take a sack and pull your team out of field goal range. That's just, okay. Then the last person on offense, because there's only one person on defense, just so you know. Okay. But the last person on offense, all right. I know you and I have had our differences about DK. All right. In my opinion, DK is by far the most talented, athletic receiver in the NFL. Hands down. You can't argue with me on that. Okay. Complete. There's a term, growing up, when you play Madden, you can create a player. DK is a creative player. Okay. He's a cheap player. Now, that being said, his hot and cold when he wants to actually run crisp routes or finish the routes.
Right.
That first interception, 100% Geno's fault. Okay. The second interception, it looked like the route was supposed to be a deep 10, 12-yard out. Okay. If he did an out route to the sidelines, it would have put him right at the sticks, and the safety was over the top. The corner was playing behind him. He would have caught it, boom, right in the basket. What does he do? He drifts where he was supposed to be. The ball's already in midair. He ends up drifting instead of cutting it to the sidelines. Same thing that happened. What game was that where we lost on the same exact thing? He did it supposed to do a inside drag route, or it's a deep in, and he drifts. Was the Niners? I think it was where they undercut it and picked it. I was like, God damn it. It's literally the same exact thing. He drifts on his freaking routes where he's supposed to be flat. And then I'm like, dude, come on, dude. I can't defend your ass very much longer. At this point, you're starting to piss me off. And I'm like, yeah, the people who are trade DK, I don't think I would trade him. I think we need to utilize him better. However, that's just stuff that we got to tighten up. Now, people put the blame on Gino, and the only thing that I'll put the blame on Gino is stuff like that, running the route crisp.
Right.
That shit is supposed to be buttoned up during the week. And if it isn't buttoned up, who's supposed to be the one doing that? Gino, hey, you're doing this. You're supposed to be doing this, So holding accountability, that's what it is.
And we've talked about that, right? Accountability, who is going to step up and be a leader on this team, like all of that stuff, especially with this year that we have. We're not rebuilding, we're transitioning, right, into new coaching staff. We're figuring things out. But I feel like by week 16, you should, not have everything ironed and figured out, but at least like continue to do what you do well from game to game. And obviously each game is going to be different with every single team that you're playing against. But when you look at the numbers, like Vikings and Seahawks numbers, as far as, time of possession, running yards, total yards, everything is pretty similar. Everything is pretty similar.
Have you ever heard the saying, take what the defense gives you? I've said it a few times on here.
Okay.
When we're talking about just the inconsistencies with our offense, especially, there's the 3rd and 1 play, right? There's 3rd and 1. You have Charbonnet behind you, K9 behind you, Kenny McIntosh, who since preseason averages 5 yards every time he touches the damn ball. Okay.
Right.
And they what happens? Gino drops back. Sorry, I'm still stuck on this right here. Like Gino drops back to throw the freaking ball.
Right.
And then we do a punt. And did you? Oh wait, you were listening, and
I was listening. So some of the stuff that you're talking about, like I didn't see it, but it's like really interesting, right? Different perspectives of what you hear versus what is actually,
what is missing. Like, so now it's 4th, right? And we're we're still on their side of the 50, so that's good. But it's 4th down, and it should have been 1st down with those 3 running backs. But now we do a direct snap to Julian Love on a punt. It's a fake punt, and he rushes the ball for 1 yard. We get the 1st down. It's like, thanks, we got the 1st down, but why are we doing this to ourselves? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're just making it way harder for ourselves, and it's the story of our lives this year. Us beating ourselves. But all right, I'm done with
that. Let's give our offense a grade. I honestly, I feel like our offense did well. We kept up, right? We're answering back. It was a very close game. Like we said last week when we had a shitty game versus Green Bay, like I thought JSN has been our most consistent player of the season, and he continued to do that yesterday. So what grade are you going to give our offense?
I give our offense, I give the play calling, because there's 2 different things, okay? A play calling.
We'll take the average. We'll take the average.
The play calling, I give the play calling a D-.
Okay.
The offense, as far as how well they executed, I'll give them a C+. So that puts us right around a C, right?
Yeah.
I'll give it between a C- and a C. There you go. Somewhere floating in there on the lower side of a C.
So like a 73, 72.
72.7.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a 70. I agree. Like
round up on that.
Yeah, we'll give it a C-. I agree. Because obviously, if we won, it would have been different. And obviously, if we didn't have those sacks, we didn't have those interceptions, it would have been a completely different grade. All right, let's move on. We talked a lot about the offense. I know we're feeling some type of way. Defense.
Okay. Defense.
We stopped the run because we held them to like 70-ish yards.
Right.
Like it wasn't crazy.
Aaron Jones, you're right. Aaron Jones he's a good ass running back. I loved watching him in Green Bay. He was one of those big moves where it was like Aaron Jones went to, the Vikings, then you had Saquon go to the Eagles and Josh Jacobs go to the Packers. I was interested, and he's been doing very well when he's healthy. So I was actually glad to see our boys, slow him down. I hate when players reach milestones against the Seahawks. I'll never forget when who was it? I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, Aaron Jones broke 1,000 yards yesterday against us for the season. I'm like, damn, I hate when that shit happens on us.
Right.
But we still held them to a decent game. The defense did. Here's the one thing that kills me is, their offense when it came to passing. And, Sam Darnold's been having a hell of a season. Easily, like I said, easily a top 5 quarterback this year.
Right.
Um, on his quarterback revival season. But he threw for 246, which is a decent game, okay? 3 touchdowns and 0 picks. So he actually had a really solid game numbers-wise. But here's the part that's crazy. Of that 246 yards, okay, 144 of those go to Justin Jefferson, okay?
Right.
Are you okay?
We couldn't stop him. The one person on the team that we probably need to stop. It's like Josh Jacobs for us 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Like they always have one person. And they're like, how is one person going to carry their team? And we know it's going to go to them.
10 receptions on 13 attempts, 10 receptions. The next closest receiver was Jordan Addison, only 5 receptions and only 35 yards. So pretty much he made more yards himself than all of the other 6 receivers combined. On their team. You think we should guard the guy? Come on, man.
I mean, maybe we should guard him. Maybe.
Remember, do you remember when we had Richard Sherman and then there was Revis Island, Darrelle Revis? Okay, it was like, who's the top corner in the NFL? I love Richard Sherman. I'll ride with him. But one of the biggest arguments people had is Sherman will stay on this side and Brandon Brown or Byron Maxwell stay on this side, whichever one it was. So he would never flip-flop, okay? Darrelle Revis, what I loved about him and the other side of that argument was he would go wherever the best receiver goes. I'm following this guy the whole game. I'm like, why wouldn't we put I ain't gonna put Tariq Woolen on him because I'm gonna go in on him in a second. But I would have put it's hard to put Witherspoon on him the whole game because Witherspoon's a slot receiver. Anyways, like, why don't we follow him with our best corner, who we think is, so I wish we could do more of that. Mark Sanchez actually said that in the game too. That man, I want to see the best guy up against the best guy, mano-a-mano the whole game, man. So
right.
Yeah. Defense though, you know what? It takes with a high flying offense, I actually think we did very well against them. Sam when you have Jay Jettas and a quarterback like Sam Darnold doing his thing, we actually held them to a pretty decent game on defense. Now
we did.
What are your thoughts? Remember who I said on our thread with me, you, and Money Mike, like who I think what the hell is this guy's problem? He's our weakest link on our defense, in my opinion.
Tariq.
Do you remember who that was?
Tariq.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, his name's Reek now, by the way. Reek.
Reek Woolen with the big old chains on his neck.
That's why I say you should go back to Tariq. I want Tariq Woolen back, please. Yeah, and I said last week, the way he was playing last week, giving up the big play, either giving up the big play for a touchdown or the big play for a defensive pass interference, and it's a spotted foul. I was like, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm going at him. I'm going at Tariq Woolen,
every time.
And they did that yesterday. And you know what? In the beginning of the game, he actually was playing, fairly decent. And but when we needed it the most, the last game, Sam Darnold gets pressure, and it's like right when we gave up the lead, we had the lead for the first time in the entire game.
Right.
He gets beat. I can't tell if he was in a cover 3 or if he was in man defense because Jay Jettas just took him up the sideline, and he was trailing the whole time, looking back at the quarterback like, dude, why are your eyes on the quarterback? You're beat by 5 yards. You should be hauling ass trying to catch up. Use that 4.2 speed.
Right.
Sam drops the ball right in the breadbasket between Reek and Julian Love. And I was like, dude, busted play, busted coverage, or just your ass getting beat on some straight up man-on-man. The one time when you were supposed to do your thing, you got beat. And I'm just like, I'm so over Reek Woolen. Did you see that he didn't even start the game, the first series or two?
No, I didn't know that. And I mean, oh gosh, I know. I think the things that hurt us the most with our defense too is one, let's make a goal to not let the other team score on their first drive. Like let that should be a goal for like every single team, right? But then also too, our penalties fucked us.
Oh my God.
Fucked us, right? Yeah. Like if we just think about those penalties and what contributed or what how they transitioned and got a touchdown after that. Plus, if we just held them to no touchdown the first drive of the game, like it would just make a huge difference. But I mean, obviously, yeah, we're seeing consistency in the wrong parts of the game. I feel like we're seeing
we are consistently getting flags on games where it's tight, and we can't afford to do that. But like, the thing about Reek was he was out of the game, didn't start the game because of disciplinary stuff for something that happened during the week. I don't even know. I didn't even care to read into it, but I'm like, when you do something, maybe you broke curfew or something, you don't get to start. I don't know what it was. There's shit like that, but I'm like, if you're
taking this seriously?
Yeah, how serious are you taking this shit? You know what I mean? That's really what it boils down to. So, I don't know. We need to fix that real quick. He's a freak athlete, so damn gifted, man. But I'm just like, dude, I want the rookie Tariq back. But yeah, other than that, I think the defense did great.
Give him a grade. Give him a grade.
I say C+, straight up. I love the scheming. The scheming was great. There's just, like you said, it was mistakes. There were so many plays where, and some of them you can't help. Byron Murphy had his first sack called back. Unfortunately, he sacked Sam Darnold, but and it was a crucial sack too. It was third, and they would have punted the ball. They ended up giving him life from the penalty as a face mask.
Oh,
and then they scored on that drive. I'm like, what should have been a punt, that face mask on the sack.
Right.
I got called back and turned into points, man. So
right. Oh my gosh, I know. I'm like, penalties like that. And when we're listening to it, we're like, no, why? Because that's 15 yards. It's huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard enough to get points and win games in the NFL. Right. When you give the other team life like that, it makes it very hard to win. But yeah, I give them a solid C+, because there were a lot of, man, I can't say it enough, and I sound like a broken record. You see glimpses of it. Like, you see the parts where it's clicking. And when things are clicking, we're a scary team. But we're so far from things clicking the whole game. And here's the scary part is that if we don't get this shit together, like in this year and next year, it's going to get harder and harder because our stars are going to get more and more expensive, and trying to keep them. So
Right. Okay. Well, done with that. I kind of want to just brag a little bit right now with my fantasy football team.
Ooh, where are we at?
So I was projected to lose, and obviously I was driving for 12 hours yesterday. So I didn't check the scores because I was driving with my dad, and I didn't want to look at my phone while I was driving. I get a text from my girlfriend, and it read it in my car, and she was like, I went down to take a nap thinking I was going to just waltz into the championship, and I woke up to a nightmare because I was kicking her ass. I scored like 194 points because I had Falcons defense who got me 26 points because they had 2 pick sixes or 2 touchdowns, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm going into the championship.
Shout out. You want to hear something crazy too?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm in the championships too. I was projected to lose the game, and I ended up scoring 185 points myself. So I'm in there, and then my boy Jaguar, and I was texting him. I was like, this is going to be hilarious if me and you end up being in the championship, because he started off the game 0 for 3, 0 for 4 the season. And then in the middle of the season, I went on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. I was like, yeah, this fantasy season's over. And then me and him just started winning, and here we are in the playoffs. I thought I was going to get knocked the first round, but we're championship, man.
I love it. Let's go. I know. I thought I wasn't even going to make it. I was like, I barely made it into playoffs, and then here I am.
This is where you're supposed to play it off and be like, never doubted it this whole time. Never doubted myself at all.
Oh my god!
Look at that, man. How many takes have we had this season? Just so y'all know, like, how many takes have Alex and I been just spot on? And then the fact that we're both in like the championship for our fantasy team, that says something,
That says something. That says something that, sometimes because my boyfriend was like, I had to go play basketball because I was stressing out about my lineup decisions. I was like, you know what? I just set it and forget it. And look what happened. He's like, I should have done that. I was like, yep. Can't think too much about it. It's fantasy football. You never know what's going to happen. People are going to get hurt. People aren't going to score. Who knows? But we made it to the championship, and I'm proud of us. I'm so proud of us. Look at us.
There you go. There you go. Do it.
Okay. Okay, let's just touch on the NFC West for a couple seconds. I've been holding my dog this whole time. She's like a baby, you guys. Granted, I haven't seen her for like 4 weeks, so she's like very attached to me.
Your biceps burning.
I know, my foot is on. I'm like Captain Morganing it right now with my foot on the chair right now.
Okay. 1 foot up. Okay.
1 foot is up, but we got the Rams still on top, 9-6. They just beat the Jets 19-9, which I was like, are the Jets gonna beat the Rams at one point? Awesome. I was like, oh fuck. But they got the Cardinals and Seahawks coming up in the next 2 weeks. Seahawks are 8-7. Obviously, we lost to the Vikings. We have the Bears day after Christmas, Thursday Night Football, which hopefully, if the Rams lose the next 2 and we win the next 2,
it's right back in it. Yeah. And I'm cheering 12s. We got to cheer for those Cardinals this week, we do. And you know what's crazy is I don't know how many times since 2010 when we were like making a playoff run and the Cardinals were always out, bottom, always. But they're just beating everybody, like always beat us, like nothing to lose. Let's ruin their playoff run right now. I was like, the Cardinals would beat our asses. And I'm like, mother freak, even their old coach during when we were in the Legion of Boom area, big dude with the mustache. Anyways, undefeated, Bruce Arians, undefeated.
Bruce Arians. I was picturing him in my mind.
Undefeated in freaking Quest Field, I feel like, or CenturyLink, or what are we now? Lumen. There we are. Yeah. So crazy. Hopefully they pull an upset. That'd be dope. Come on, y'all.
If they pull an upset, I will love it so much. And then we got the Niners at the bottom who have no chance of making the playoffs. So
you know what the Seahawks need to do right now?
What?
They need to cut somebody right now. They say you're cut. That'll make us cut.
Who would you cut?
Out. Oh shit. I don't know. I don't know that I would cut him. I would bench him and not even suit him up. I would do Tariq Woolen.
Okay, I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I would bench him. I would bench him and make an example out of him. You remember how I was saying they came out of bye week, people start getting cut or released and traded. And then I was like, the culture of this team is do your job, your ass is getting cut, so they're getting comfortable, man. Let's make them uncomfortable again.
Okay. All right, y'all. Let us know who would you cut, because that'd be interesting to see like who everybody in the chat would want to cut, because I want to know.
Yeah, who would you all like to make an example out of? Please leave your comment for us.
Oh my gosh, it's Christmas this week. I hope. Did you get your Christmas tree?
Sure did. I got the Christmas tree up today.
Today? Today?
Yeah, I know. It's been hectic, but we did it.
It's okay. I can't say anything. Like, I don't decorate at all in San Francisco. I feel like the Grinch, because I'm like, everybody's out wearing like Christmas shirts. I'm like, still wearing black and white. Like, I am not in the Christmas spirit. I don't know. But Hanukkah is the same day as Christmas. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a happy holidays. Go Hawks. Let's beat the Bears. Let's beat the Bears. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Have a great night.
All right, y'all.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.